Okay, Folk Nashville Connection. This is their maiden voyage, and we're just hoping there ain't no holes in the boat. As I started to say, Nell and I are going to play a short set, followed by Claudia Nygaard for a half hour, and then Brant Miller, our co-host, is going to play a short set of his own, and then Rod Abernethy is going to play for you. And you want to stick around for Rod, especially you guitar players, because Rod is an absolute demon on that guitar. So I'm looking forward to that myself. So Nell?
Yes, so just a few things. Right now, we are, with each of these shows, we're going to host a local worthy nonprofit here in Nashville that part of the money is going to go to that we're going to collect tonight. So we've chosen our good friends at the Nashville Peace and Justice Center as the nonprofit for tonight. I'll quickly read you their mission. The Nashville Peace and Justice Center is a community-based coalition of individuals and organizations working to promote equity and to create a peaceful, just, inclusive, and sustainable society through reflection, education, and nonviolent action. And they are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So we want to support their work. I want to mention that we do have this thing called the Zoom room that some of you signed up for in advance, and you're going to get a chance to talk to the artists at the end of the show after the broadcast when we end it, and we're going to be keeping you unmuted during the show. You can be here in the room, but we have to stay muted till we get to the end of the concert. And so we are encouraging donations tonight, and the way the donations will be split up is between the artists and the nonprofit. And our goal tonight is, if we can, to raise $500, our modest goal of $500. So basically we need 25 folks who are willing to give us $20, and we'll make our 500. And if you would like to get on our mailing list, please send your email address in the chat directly to Brant and like our new Folk Nashville Connection Facebook page. So right now we are going to play you a couple of 3 songs actually.
Well, actually, Brant is going to come on and say some nice things about us.
Brant's going to say some nice stuff about us. Okay.
Right, I've got to say a few words about Michael and Nell, my good buddies here, and it's our first show, and it's great to have everyone who's coming in on with us here on Zoom and on Facebook and YouTube. And Michael and Nell's album, Welcome Home, was number 5 on the August 2020 Folk Alliance DJ chart. An election year rag was number 3 song, and they were the number 7 artist on that chart. And they were also finalists in the Renaissance Artists and Writers Association 2021 Songs for Social Change contest, and they created an acclaimed multimedia Joe Hill Roadshow and released their companion CD, Joe Hill Roadshow, in 2016. They performed the show live 27 times and virtually 8 times for colleges, unions, and community groups. So play your songs, folks.
Okay, well, we're going to kick things off with a song I wrote a while ago about a problem that's going on here in Nashville,
and
everywhere else.
It's all over the country.
It's called The Displacement Blues.
There were jams at twilight on my street. Those banjos and fiddles sure sounded sweet. I used to love this old town, but now I can't keep up with what's going down. Eviction notice on my door. There's a wrecking crew I can't ignore. Gonna smash my home down to the ground. You know I can't keep up with what's going down. Cookie cutter style, you can't fix that with granite tile. Some people say greed is good till the wheels and deals in your neighborhood. Single moms got the display old lead belly was still around. He said we're living in another bourgeois town where poor folks just keep losing ground. You know, I can't keep up with what's going down. Gonna pack my bags and move along. Detroit City might like my song. Won't sell my soul to stick around. You know, I can't keep up with what's going down. All right. So now,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gonna be a little song by Nell. Do you want to introduce your own song here?
Oh, yeah, this is a song that I co-wrote with Rick Swagoda a while ago, and it's called Talking with Their Hands. And just briefly, the second verse is about a woman named Heather Whitestone. Now, she was deaf, and she became Miss America in 1996. So that's who the second verse is about. He's always shy and quiet, and when you talk to him off stage, but when he strokes that fiddle, he's got a lot to say. Oh, he plays with soul and fire, in a voice that must be heard. He'll make you cheer and make you cry, and never say a word. Does his talking with his hands, coming from the heart, speaking so we all can understand. He's touching us, talking with his hands. In a classroom filled with children who have never heard a sound, there's a beauty queen who dared to dream she'd someday wear a crown. Like them, her world is silent, but her story's full of hope. She tells them life will take them anywhere they want to go. Does her talking with her hands, coming from the heart, speaking so we all can understand. She's touching us, talking with her hands. A plumber and a lawyer, a waitress and a priest, all pitched in to build a house for a poor family. Oh, hungry, sore, and smiling by the time that they were through. Oh, they don't brag about their work, that's not what they do. They do their talking with their hands, coming from the heart, speaking so we all can understand. They're touching us, talking with their hands. Oh, they're touching us, talking with their hands.
Talking with their hands. Well, Nell's going to switch up and pick up the fiddle here, and we're going to play a little song that I wrote, and it is about, a couple of life's unintended consequences.
Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Bald, I'm going bald. It isn't what I had in mind at all. As I get older, my head gets colder, 'cause those follicles won't stay in place. They're down my back and in my face. Ain't nothing I can do about going bald. Fat, I'm getting fat. My waistline isn't where it once was at. I'm not too cute in a bathing suit, so I went and joined the local gym to try to be more slim and trim. But every time I go, I just feel fat. But I got love and the stars above, warm bed at night, and someone to treat me right. Bald, fat and bald, maybe it really ain't so bad at all. But I got love and the stars above, good pickup truck, and someone to treat me right. Bald, fat and bald, it isn't what I had in mind at all. Can't say I'm glad, but it ain't so bad, with that woman next to me in bed, and an old hound dog who licks my head. Things could be worse than being fat and bald. With my good gal next to me in bed, and an old hound dog who licks my head. Things could be worse than being fat and bald. Fat and bald, there you go. And I know a few of us will be able to relate to that sentiment.
Okay.
So, and now,
we're going to bring up
Claudia
Nygaard.
Nygaard.
Oh, boy.
The beautiful and talented Claudia Nygaard, I might add.
Right. So,
Take it away, Claudia.
well, I'm going to introduce her first. Let me
Oh,
give her
oh,
the big
excuse-
build-up
oh,
here.
Excuse me, I forgot about the build-up. Must have the build-up.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Claudia's writing has won her numerous awards and radio chart success. She was a staff songwriter for Greenwood Music Publishing on Nashville's Music Row. She won both the prestigious Kerrville Folk Festival songwriting competition and, with the title from her latest album, Lucky Girl, the Tumbleweed Music Festival songwriting competition. The song rose to number 3 on the Folk Alliance radio song chart and the album to number 5. It also received generous airplay on the Americana and Roots music charts. Making a Scene magazine included Lucky Girl in their top albums of the year list, as did several radio stations. So here is the wonderful, beautiful, talented Claudia Nygaard.
Take it away.
Take it away, Claudia.
Thank you very much. My goodness, how am I going to live up to all that? Oh, I guess I already did. It's funny. This one for America, because we in kind of stuff. I don't know. We're not really in trouble, but you know, the world is. So. We had names like Sean and Colleen when we reached the harbor. as quick to wink as fight, with a twinkle in our eyes. And we planted potatoes and rolled up our sleeves, washed clothes and built factories, and hung on to a dream that wouldn't die. And we had names like Katrina and Ole when we crossed the prairie. We were strong and stern and no stranger to the wind and snow. And that old blue northern, she blew and she blew, but we pulled our coats tighter, said we're tougher than you. Well, hang on, no matter how hard you blow. We've got a big country that holds so many dreams, a big country and more in common than it seems. We all love and hope and know what freedom means. We share a big country that holds so many dreams. We had names like Juan and Maria when we crossed the river, with a dream of mañana in a place where the corn could grow. We took the jobs with the smallest of pay, the only ones that Gringo would give away, and hung on to a dream that grew so slow. And we had names like Rachel and Reuben and Yoko and Lee, Sitting Bull and Sacagawea, Muhammad and Fatima, and we are every color and faith underneath the sun. But somehow we've all come together as one, and if we can make it work in the USA, well, then maybe the whole world could live in peace someday. We've got a big country that holds so many dreams, a big country and more in common than it seems. We all love and hope and know what freedom means. We all love and hope and know what freedom means. And we share a big country that holds so many dreams. We are a glorious experiment that has lasted about almost 250 years. Isn't it around that? And I'm hoping it will continue to last. It's amazing to me that some guy in one country could think that he could tell other people how they want to live. But, oh well, it's the world, I guess. This is a song off of my latest album, Lucky Girl. Somewhere in the middle of Ohio, that's when I got your call. I never thought we'd go the distance. That didn't stop the tears at all. A few days later, in Nebraska. I was yelling curse words at the rain. It didn't make the highway any drier, but sometimes anger swallows pain. I'll hold the wheel a little tighter, and I won't watch the rearview mirror anymore. Around this curve the light gets brighter. I've been down this road before. Yeah, I've been down this road before. Pulled into a truck stop in Montana as our song came on the radio. I shrugged it off and changed the channel. That song's too slow, just too damn slow. I'll hold the wheel a little tighter, and I won't watch the rearview mirror anymore. Around this curve the light gets brighter. I've been down this road before. I've been down this road before. By the time I rolled out of Wyoming, I made it down to Oklahoma, headed south. I felt a near forgotten feeling tugging at the corners of my mouth. Yeah, it was tugging at the corners of my mouth. Now I hold the wheel a little lighter. I don't watch the rearview mirror anymore. Around this curve the light got bright, just like all those times before. Just like all those times before. Yeah, I've been down this road before. Thanks. I'm going to switch here to the ukulele. Putt Putt, as she's known around the house here. Of course, I'm the only one in the house, so that's how she's known. I was called Putt Putt when I was little. My godfather called me Putt Putt. I moved very slow then. As a matter of fact, my uncle, when I was in elementary school, used to call me Pocahontas. Pocahontas Blackfoot, because I always was barefoot and my feet were always dirty. Things have changed a lot since then. Anyway, some of you may be thinking that you've just about had it with winter. I certainly have. I'm ready for beach. I want to see the ocean again. I haven't seen the ocean for 2 years. I'm going to in April. I'm actually headed up to Cape Cod. I'm going to play in actually, I'm playing in Knoxville, and then in Virginia, and then up to New York, and then Massachusetts, and then back down again and through Maryland. And so, anyway, gonna do the whole northeast thing, but when I get up to the very end, that's where Cape Cod is. I'll be right there at the Elf Shoe. So, looking forward to that. In the meantime, I just have to fantasize about being at the beach. After last year's snow, I said, come on, let's go. And we planned this trip down here this year. Warm sand between my toes and hardly any clothes. It's such a shame that you're not here. Too bad you're not coming down, 'cause the sun's going down and the rum's going down. No problem, wish you were here. Oh, the sun's going down, but I'm still hot. You could be here. Too bad you're not, 'cause the rum's going down and there's plenty of ice cold beer. Boy, you sure look surprised, big round wide open eyes, when I set my suitcase by the door. Your job is killing you, but it won't kill me too. Not lying on this sandy shore. Too bad you're not coming down, 'cause the sun's going down and the rum's going down. No problem, wish you were here. Oh, the sun's going down, but I'm still hot. You could be here. Too bad you're not, 'cause the rum's going down and there's plenty of ice cold beer. Now there's something I don't often see coming up the beach to me. Well, it's a barefoot man in a suit and tie. Well, I guess you changed your mind. I hoped you would in time. Trade a kiss for a cold, thirsty guy. And then let's sit down, we'll watch the sun go down. Oh, the rum's going down and I'm glad you're finally here. Oh, the sun's going down, I'm still hot. You could be back home, I'm glad you're not, 'cause the rum's going down and there's plenty of ice cold beer. Yeah, the rum's going down and there's plenty of ice cold beer. Little cha-cha-cha there at the end. And wouldn't it be nice? Especially on the Gulf. For those of you who've never been to the Gulf, we call that the Redneck Riviera here in Tennessee. It's only 8 hours straight on down on the Gulf shores and Pensacola and that area. And the sand is like flour. It's so soft. It's like powder. And the sea is like turquoise. The ocean, the Gulf is like turquoise, and it's warm. And except for the hurricanes and the sharks, it's really great. Well, there's not always sharks and hurricanes. You got to get it on a good day. Anyway, this is another song off of Lucky Girl. I didn't pay attention what time I started, so if I go too long, just start waving your arms and stuff. What am I doing with this capo? There's no capo on this song. Mama, don't say I told you so. I already hurt so bad. Yes, I was a fool, I know, to give him all I had. Mama, maybe you were right, 'cause it sure turned out wrong. But I just can't put up a fight when passion comes so strong. Mama, don't shake your head that way. I know I knew better too, but I can't go back to yesterday with my heart this black and blue. Mama, I was lonely and so hungry for that man, starving on the desert. Sometimes you eat a little sand. On tiny wings I flew, knowing what the heat could do. I flew blinded when love came, like a moth to a flame. Mama, I feel such sorrow. I never hurt like this, but I trade all my tomorrows for just one more goodbye kiss. Mama, I had never had my heart like that before. Had to love that man forever, but he don't want me anymore. On tiny wings I flew, knowing what the heat could do. I flew blinded when love came, like a moth to a flame. Mama, if you need me, you can find me in my room. I'm pulling all the shades down, gonna sit there in the gloom. Mama, I'll be tending to these wings so badly singed. Mama, I'll be praying that he'll pass this way again. Excuse me. On tiny wings I flew, knowing what the heat could do. I flew blinded when love came, like a moth to a flame. Like a moth to a flame. Like a moth to a flame. Must have been a moth in my throat. Actually, I have a story about that. I opened for Glenn Campbell one time years ago in Del Mar Racetrack, 14,000 people. And I did the opening show, and then I was watching him do his show from the wings, standing there with my mother. My mother had flown in for the show, and he was singing, and I saw a moth, because they're attracted to the stage lights. I saw a moth actually fly into his mouth, and he just swallowed it and kept singing. I turned to my mother and I said, I will never be that professional. Because I would have been like, anyway. You live 2,000 miles away. You got a real good job at real good pay. You ain't moving here, I ain't moving there, 'cause from there I can't get anywhere. From here, if I drive just one day, I can take a stroll down the Great White Way, or feel the Gulf breeze in my hair. But from there, I can't go anywhere. This ain't gonna work. This is all wrong. What are you doing here tonight? This ain't gonna work. But when you're around, damn if it don't feel right. I'm older than you, which is kinda weird. Plus I never did go for men with beards. But I guess that's no longer true. You got a fuzzy face and I go for you. This ain't gonna work. This is all wrong. What are you doing here tonight? This ain't gonna work. But when you're around, damn if it don't feel right. Well, I don't want a man who drinks and smokes, but baby, pour that wine and give me a toke. I need a man with a plan, not wild and free. But I feel pretty when you're next to me. This ain't gonna work. This is all wrong. What are you doing here tonight? This ain't gonna work. But when you're around, don't feel right. Damn if it don't feel right. You live 2,000 miles away. Well, here's a song I don't think I've played in public before. I don't know if this is my last one or if I have time for two or what, but anyway. This one is this is a song that I wrote when I was not having a very good day. Trees along the riverbank don't set roots down deep. The water always comes to them. Into their soil it seeps. So they grow a deeper green and they grow up taller. But their roots are not as strong, they're smaller. Trees along the riverbank are beautiful to see. They march along the water's edge, looking strong and free. But they have to hold on tight when the water starts to rise, like I do when the water's rising in my eyes. When the river gets too high and turns a muddy brown, the slippery roots can't bear their weight and they come crashing down, and they roll down to the downstream. Trees along the riverbank aren't as strong as they might seem. The trees along the riverbank sparkle in the sun, but their leaves still fall away when the autumn comes. And if they're too close to a fire, they burn like any tree. The trees along the riverbank, they're a lot like me. When the river gets too high and turns a muddy brown, the slippery roots can't hold their weight and they come crashing down, and they roll down to the water and then roll away downstream. The trees along the riverbank aren't as strong as they might seem. Trees along the riverbank aren't as strong as they might seem. So do I have time for one more? Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good, because I don't want to just be passing out the razor blades after that one. It's only 5 weeks until baseball season, folks. I can't help it. I'm a fan. I'm a particular fan of a group out of Boston called the Red Sox. And they say on Nashville's Music Row, if you're a songwriter on Music Row, they say you're not a real songwriter until you've written at least one baseball song. So I wrote this one. I had a friend named John Arthur Walsh, and he and I were big baseball fans together. He was kind of like a second dad to me, and we used to go down to the bar and watch Red Sox games on Monday nights on account of, because usually I didn't have to play on Monday nights. And when they finally won the World Series, he lived his whole life in Boston and missed both World Series that were 86 years apart. I never saw him play. And when they did finally win, back in the 80s, after 86 years of never winning, I wanted to call him so bad. Let's start that wrong. Does heaven know our Red Sox are world champions again? Did you help to make that happen? Just to let me know you're looking through the places where it's thin, not stretched out on some fluffy cloud just napping. Oh, I wish that I could call you up and tell you about the game. Tappy swinging for the monster, Schilling pitching through the pain, and Johnny Damon's grand slam, how those Yankees fell apart. About these heroes and their haircuts and all that heart. You can't be the only Bo Sox fan made it through those pearly gates. I bet there's others up there too. Was there one who was a therapist, who sat down with the babe got him to cry and talk it out and work it through. When they traded the Bambino, our luck went from bad to worse. 86 years later, 86 the curse. Oh, I wish that I could call you up and tell you about the game. Pappy swinging for the monster, Schilling pitching through the pain, and Johnny Damon's grand slam. How those Yankees fell apart. About these heroes and their haircuts and all that heart. About those heroes, those invincible idiots, and all that heart. Go Sox.
All right. Thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank
That
you.
was a
Thanks for
wonderful
having
set.
me.
Yeah, glad you could make it. So next up, we're going to get a treat from Mr. Brant Miller. Now, Brant's 2020 release, Roots, Rhymes, and Branches, reached number 14 on the international folk radio charts with his timely song, Where Now, America, reaching number 12. Brant was a finalist in the Renaissance Arts and Writers Association, RAWA, 2021 Songs for Social Change contest. He lives in Nashville and now makes music full-time, along with political and environmental activism. And we want to throw it out again, encouraging donations tonight via Venmo and PayPal links in the chat.
And also, we posted our P.O. box. If you want to send us a check, it's in the chat.
Ah, yes.
So P.O. Box 60338, Nashville 37206, and you can make a check out to Michael August, and that will work. And Brant, is it okay if we encourage people to sign in for the Zoom link now?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We have
Okay, I'm going to get
plenty of room.
Daryl to post it in the chat. So if somebody wants to get into this Zoom room thing where you get a chance to talk to the artists after the show, if you sign up now, we'll get you in, okay?
And
Okay.
one of you guys will have to let them in if they come when I'm singing, but
Yeah, well,
All right.
Daryl will do that.
great.
And, yes, so, because we'd love to have you. I'm sure it's going to be interesting discussion, so.
Oh, yeah.
sure
Oh, yeah.
will. Love
So
to have
one
you.
more time, donations by Venmo and PayPal link, which we will find in the chat. And we're looking to raise a modest $500 tonight. So please, if you will, we thank you in advance. And now, Brant Miller.
Great. Thanks, Michael and Nell. And thanks, Claudia. That was wonderful songs and singing, like always. I had a chance to, my first time at the Folk Alliance conference in the SURFA Southeastern one, my first showcase I shared with Claudia and another duo. And I was pretty nervous playing with all these great artists, but made it through somehow, and doing it again tonight. And I've seen her perform a number of times now, and it's great to have you with us. And Michael and Nell, of course, love your stuff. And thanks everybody for coming. I see some friendly faces. They're all friendly, but some that I know, like Vern and Frank and Antoinette and several other folks in here that I've met through online and so forth. So thank you, everyone, and on YouTube and Facebook for coming. And so I'm going to start out with a song that I wrote, one of the last ones I've written so far lately, and this is about the new year coming in. And I know a lot of folks are kind of ready for a new year and maybe some better things happening. So So this is going to talk about a few things that I hope to see in the new year. Can you hear me okay? Am I coming through? Okay, I guess I am.
Loud and clear.
All right. For the last 12 months, we've had challenges to face of biblical proportions for the human race. We've lost too many lives and we lost too many dreams. As the calendar moves forward, let's pray for some relief. Bring on the new year. To hell with the old one. It's gonna be better. We don't want a rerun. We're gonna be healthy. We're gonna get good things done. Bring on the new year. To hell with the old one. Forget those same old tired resolutions that we make and start to love thy neighbor now before it's too damn late. The time bomb's ticking faster, so let's treat each other right. 'Cause saving Mother Earth is where we need to take the fight. Bring on the new year. To hell with the old one. It's gonna be better. We don't want a rerun. We're gonna be healthy. We're gonna get good things done. Bring on the new year. To hell with the old one. Let's fly our better angels to that higher common ground, where faith and science coexist and peace and love are found all year round. Bring on the new year. To hell with the old one. It's gonna be better. We don't want a rerun. We're gonna be healthy. We're gonna get good things done. Bring on the new year. To hell with the old one. Bring on the new year. To hell with the old one. Happy New Year. Into a better 2022. All right. Well, thanks, folks. My next song is one that, gotta get a change in harmonica here. They do have one harmonica that plays in all the keys, but it's called a chromatic, and you've got to have two hands to play it. It has a little key on the side. So unfortunately, we harp players have to keep on changing them when we change keys most of the time. So yeah, my next song is on my latest album, Roots, Rhymes, and Branches. That was partially inspired by visits to guitar stores in Nashville, where older vintage guitars are the most expensive and collectible ones around. And it got me to thinking about, how we value things. And so this is how that song got started. Just one second here, make sure. Okay. I hear it raining outside now. Got a little rain in Nashville, Tennessee. I got a Martin flat top guitar, born in '53. She's worth more more every year, and she's the same damn age as me. We both have lots of living and songs under our belts. She keeps on sounding sweeter, so do I, bet I can tell. 'Cause we're vintage, yeah, we're vintage. A little worse for the wear. What a blast just getting there. No spring chickens, but we're still kicking and picking. Ain't over the hill, still getting our fill. We're vintage. I got a good gal about my age, fine as she can be. She'll outlove and she'll outshine any girl of 23. We don't move quite as fast, but we sure arrive in style. It's all about the journey and it's all about the smiles. 'Cause we're vintage, yeah, we're vintage. A little worse for the wear. What a blast just getting there. No spring chickens, but we're still kicking and clicking. Ain't over the hill, still getting our thrill. We're vintage. We could rest on our laurels, but time ain't on our side. Too much to say, to do and play, so we'll play till we up and die. Oh, we're vintage, yeah, we're vintage. A little worse for the wear. What a blast just getting there. No spring chickens, but we're still kicking like the dickens. Ain't over the hill, still getting our fill. We're vintage. Ain't over the hill, still getting our thrill. We're vintage. Ain't over the hill and we're loving it still. We're vintage. Thank you. I think there's a couple of vintage folks here tonight who might be able to relate. Well, thanks so much, folks. I'm going to do my last song of my set here. I heard Claudia doing a song on her set that was had a similar theme of, this country, and in fact, she mentioned The Great Experiment, which is actually the name of the song. And it's something that, in honor of President's Day, I wanted to do this song, which is a tribute to our ever-changing democracy, which, as George Washington called it, the Great Experiment. And it is it is a fragile democracy that we have to do our best to keep alive. So this is one that I would like to record someday. Not on any record yet, but maybe the next one. Just got a tune. Yeah. Washington so tall on his horse, Snowden deep at Valley Forge, tells his freezing men this is worth fighting for. Founders meet to forge our nation, it's tooth and nail but they compromise. We the people are doing something that's never been tried. We're all just part of the great experiment, figuring out what it means to be American. The Constitution is a pretty good plan, but we're still searching for the promised land. We're all just part of the great experiment. Selma on that bloody Sunday, the Billy Clubs on black and brown, John Lewis and his freedom marchers never back down. Rosa across the Rio Grande works at Texas citrus groves. Her brother Pablo's in the army and she's so proud. You know we're all just part of the great experiment, figuring out what it means to be American. The Constitution is a pretty good plan. We're still searching for the promised land. You know we're all just part of the great experiment. Different colors, different creeds, but everyone has sown their seed to help this nation grow and thrive. Now let's see if we can keep her alive. You know we're all just part of the great experiment, figuring out what it means to be American. The Constitution is a pretty good plan, but we're still searching for the promised land. You know we're all just part of the great experiment. Constitution is a pretty good plan, but we're still searching for the promised land. You know we're all just part of the great experiment. You know we need more love in the great experiment. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate that. That went by quick. But it's great. Again, thanks so much for everyone for coming on here on Zoom and on Facebook and YouTube. And I wish I could see everybody's face here, but I can feel you out there. And okay. Now, I'd like to get on our next performer and friend and guest artist, Rod Abernethy, and let me spotlight you.
You don't have to.
Oh yeah, we're gonna I'll spotlight you even more in a second.
Put a flashlight on me. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little intro there, Rod. That and I'll just get it here and read it because I didn't memorize it yet. But Rod is from North Carolina, I believe Raleigh, correct?
That's true.
Right. And I've had the pleasure of seeing perform at a couple of Folk Alliance events. Also got to hang out with Rod at one of the Folk Alliance where we had a booth that Carrie Estrin had for radio promotion. We were both getting our albums promoted by her, so we hung out there and got to talk a good bunch. And Rod has a unique blend of authentic Southern folk troubadour, master acoustic guitars, and award-winning composer for film, TV, and video games. And Rod is the 2021 overall grand prize winner of the International Acoustic Music Awards and the 2019 winner of America's Songwriters Bob Dylan Song Contest. And his latest album, Normal Isn't Normal Anymore, was released in February of 2021. So let me get you spotlighted and or remove my spotlight.
Well, Brant, I want to tell you how much I enjoyed your stuff.
Well, thanks.
I think you're a great songwriter, and
Appreciate that.
and Claudia too, and Nell and Michael too.
Yeah.
You guys are great.
Well, yeah, thanks so much. And I'm really looking forward to hearing your stuff because I've seen you and I know you're a fantastic songwriter, performer, and guitar player. So thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank everyone for being here. Thank you for having me. And I want to go down the line here. Sally and Dottie, thank you for being here. Alan, thank you for being here. And Frank and Antoinette, how's that puppy doing? I love it. And Vern, it's good to see you too. So guys, relax. I haven't played in a long time. I'm just glad to be here. Well, I have been searching all of my days, all of my days. Many a road, you know, I've been walking on all of my days. And I've been trying to find what's been in my mind. As the days keep turning into night, well, I have been quietly standing in the shade all of my days. Watch the sky breaking on this promise that we made. All of this rain. And I've been trying to find what's been in my mind. As the days keep turning into night. Well, many a night I find myself with no friends standing near. All of my days I cried out loud, shook my hands, said, what am I doing here? All of my days. And I look around me, and my eyes confound me, and it's just too bright as the days keep turning into night. Now I see clearly it's you I'm looking for all of my days. Soon I'll smile, I know I'll feel loneliness no more all of my days. For I look around me and it seems you found me. You're coming into sight as the days keep turning into night. As the days keep turning into night, and even breathing seems alright, and even breathing feels alright, even breathing feels feels alright, and even breathing feels alright. Thank you. You know, I want to try something. I would like for everybody to unmute their mic so I can hear you. Try it. Because if you're quiet, it won't matter. But unmute your mic, and I want to hear a little noise on the other side. I want to hear people breathing. Yeah. That's what I want to hear right there. Great.
It's all sounding so great.
This is a song.
Over here.
Great. You guys sound great. And don't worry about making noise. I don't care. It's great. We have a friend in Pennsylvania who has a lake, and they invited me to go fish one time. And about 5 years ago, I got into fishing, but I was really no good at it. All I did was spend my time at Bass Pro Shops. Do you guys know where you know about Bass Pro Shops? It's a crazy big Coliseum place with lures and guns, and I don't go for the guns, but I go for the fishing lures and the rods. And they asked me to go fish, and I said, well, great, I'll go fish, but I won't catch anything. But lo and behold, I caught 7 largemouth bass in 30 minutes. And no lie, I haven't done that since then, but I wrote a song, a kind of a soundtrack to that. And it's called Lucky 7, and I hope you enjoy it. Lucky 7.
Outstanding.
Oh, it's so good to hear you clap. Wow. That's one thing. I think Zoom is the platform now because we can actually hear people do stuff. I think it's great.
Well, thanks for asking us to do that. This is our first show, Rod, and we were kind of apprehensive about all that, but now you've broken the ice.
Well, it's funny. I get online a lot of surf up here groups, and I'm kind of wondering why don't they let people, but they do. I think they do open the mics on those. If people are quiet,
and I can
then
make
it's
them.
okay.
I can make them quiet here, so I've got that power.
And people can mute if they don't want to, be heard, going to the bathroom or whatever. It's fine.
You just have to be careful not to get feedback.
That's right. I wrote this song a couple of years ago, but my parents have both passed away. As a lot of us, we've lost, our parents, and life goes on. But I wrote this song a couple of Christmases ago because I just missed my dad, and this is for him. And he didn't teach me to tune a guitar either. Last Christmas Eve I had a dream. My father was reaching out to me. He was standing near the fireplace. A younger man, I could see his face. He spoke to me and it felt so real. And we talked for hours there in my dream. My father was a quiet man, and sometimes hard to understand. In church when I was only 3, so tall he stood there next to me. He held a hymnal open wide. It was there his voice could ring a mountainside. We took a trip to Spartanburg in his '57 Thunderbird. We walked into the music store. He knew exactly what he was looking for, had an intuition about his son, somehow knew the man he would become. And in his own quiet way, he handed me my first guitar that day. Years ago, my brother passed away, and the angels spoke to me that day. As I walked into my father's house, he was standing there reaching out. He gave me such a long embrace. Quiet tears were falling from his face, and I learned how strong a man can be when death befalls a family. Yes, my father was a quiet man, and sometimes hard to understand. I look at him, I see myself in a photograph upon the shelf. I watch my son, now he's 21. A father someday will become, and I hope someday he'll understand how sometimes I can be a quiet man. My father was a quiet man.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Now for a happy song. What is the name of your dog, Antoinette? That's okay. I put you
His
on the
name is
spot.
Chico.
Chico?
Chico,
Or-
yes.
Chico, I love it. Chico. Hey, Chico. Hey. Well, this tune I wrote for our dog. She's a Treeing Walker Coonhound, and we got her at the SPCA, and she escapes all the time. I bet she has jumped over the fence 50 times in 7 years. And she's a hound, and she goes. So I wrote this song, and of course I called it Over the Fence. So it's my soundtrack to Maddie, and here it is. Oh man, I can't believe I can't remember that chord. Whatever. Just think about her jumping over the fence. Over the fence. What was that chord? Whatever. I'll remember it tonight when I go to bed. So many of you probably know Susan Cattaneo. You've heard of Susan Cattaneo in Boston. And a couple of years ago, I was in Winston-Salem, and Winston-Salem was home of Lucky Strike tobacco. And if you walk downtown in Winston-Salem, you'll still see smokestacks and factory buildings and stuff. And so I took a picture of a big smokestack and I put it on Instagram, and it had RJ Reynolds on it. And Susan texted me a couple of minutes later from Instagram. She said, you put a title, When Tobacco Was King. We need to write a song, When Tobacco Was King. So a couple of years ago, we wrote a song. And it's called When Tobacco Was King. Smoke in our lungs, stains on our teeth. We were so young, hooked on nicotine. Standing in the corner, waiting for the cool. Post-war kids, we were nobody's fool. Young America, in 53, we were gonna live forever like James Dean. We were slaves to the corporate machine. Back when tobacco was king. Lighting up a pack a day, made a deal with the devil in every ashtray. Breathing in pleasure on a lucky strike. All we heard were lies. Young America, so naive. We were smoking away our dreams while they lined their pockets with ashes and greed. Back when tobacco was king. They'll never stop. They'll never put us down. Why would they ever stop with so many jewels in their crown? Hey, you in the corner, vaping away. You think that you're so cool with no price to pay. We learned the hard way, now it's hard to breathe. We're all slaves to the corporate machine. Young America, don't be fooled. Young America, don't be fooled. It's the same old devil coming after you. while they hide their in pocket and greed. But big tobacco still keen. Tobacco still keen. You better believe it. Tobacco still keen.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
And tobacco was king.
Good one.
Well, thank you. I have one more that I would love to play. It has been a great evening. I want everybody, what a great crowd, what a, and great songwriters, and it's just been great to be here.
I've heard about you for forever, but this is the first time I've ever heard you. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, thank you, Claudia. I've heard about you for so long and loved your music and your voice and your songs. And I've seen you many times at Surfa, Nerfa, all those places. I hope we can meet again at folk conferences. I'm a little worried about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think we'll get back there. It's going to take a
Eventually.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking of Surfa, I played Surfa a couple of years ago and recorded this song. And didn't know if I would ever use that video, but then I heard that American Songwriter was looking for people that did Bob Dylan songs. And so I thought, well, why don't I, enter my video into this competition? But I thought, well, I'll do it. And I kept procrastinating, kept putting it off. And I put a post note on the back door, Bob Dylan, which meant send in that video that you did of that Bob Dylan song. 3 weeks went by and I kept forgetting to do this. And then we went on a trip and we came back, and my wife, Suzanne, we were actually going to bed, and she said, what is that post note, that sticker note on the back door that says Dylan? And then, oh man, I'm supposed to enter it. And it was that night. It was 11 o'clock. I'm not kidding. The last night, I went to the computer and I sent it off. And as musicians, you enter contests all the time, and you just do it and you forget about it. And in 2 weeks, I got an email saying I had won the American Songwriters Bob Dylan Song Contest, and I was on cloud nine. So I'd like to play you my version of Bob Dylan's Oxford Town. And thank you again for coming tonight, and thank Nell and Michael and Brant for doing this. I think it's a great thing, and keep doing it, because we need more places to play and more people to play for. So hope you enjoy it. Oxford Town, everybody got their head bowed down. Sun don't shine above the ground. Hey, I'm going down to Oxford Town. He went down to Oxford Town, guns and clubs followed him down, all because his face was brown. Better get away from Oxford Town. Oxford town around the bend, come to the door, couldn't get in, all because the color of the skin. What do you think about that, my friend? Me, my gal, and my gal's son, we got met with a tear gas bomb. Don't even know why we come. We're going back where we come from. Oxford town in the afternoon, everybody's singing a sorrowful tune. 2 men died 'neath the Mississippi moon. Somebody better investigate soon. Oxford town, everybody got their head bowed down. Sun don't shine above the ground, I ain't never going back. No, I ain't never going back. I ain't never going back.
Smoking.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, well, great.
Yeah, and okay, Brant.
Are we back in gallery? Everyone seeing the gallery?
We're back in
view?
gallery, yeah.
Great. I wanted to make sure everyone could see each other, and that hope everyone stays around for a little bit for the little talk with, we can have a little discussion. Go ahead, Nell.
Well, I'm just going to say, yeah, now we're going to have a little Zoom room conversation where you can talk to the artists or to each other or whatever, for those of you who signed up for this.